You have got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me, right? This has to be a joke, right? You've got to be kidding me. Lakers hire JJ Redick as head coach. This has to be a joke, right? Like there's no way this is actually happening, right? You've got to be kidding me. Lakers. You're telling me this is the best you could do? This is the best you could do? Is get a guy who's never coached before. He's never coached. He was a good player in the NBA. He was a good player. He had a great career. But he's never coached a game of basketball. You're telling me in Southern California, in LA, you couldn't get any coach with anybody with coaching experience? In the NBA, you couldn't have gotten, I don't know, a head coach from somewhere or an assistant? You couldn't have gotten a college coach? You couldn't get Dan Hurley? You couldn't have gotten like another college coach? No. Instead, you go and hire JJ Redick from LeBron's podcast that LeBron and JJ Redick do a podcast together. What are we watching right now, guys? Like, I'm kind of lost for words. I don't even know. I mean, I kind of already said how I feel, but like you're hiring a guy who's never coached. Good luck.
The Lakers back at it.
Chris moved with the video.
Another new head coach.
I haven't checked him out, and I have not watched a Chris Move video in a minute.
About this, a former NBA player, podcaster, NBA analyst. He was commentating the NBA Finals, so they're excited about him. They think he can connect with the players.
Analyst.
And they think he's
commentator.
Have a great outcome. They're hoping it turns out to be like.
But it's a whole. Here's the thing: analyst, commentator, former player. It's a whole different thing, though. When you gotta be like, you have to be the leader in every moment of every practice and every game. You need to lead your team through adversity, through the good times, the bad times. For an 82 game season. It's a different thing, bro. It's different from
the Lakers. It doesn't seem
it's
like
different
this
when
is a
you're in the
coaching
moment.
problem. Because the same problems they had with Frank Vogel.
Yeah, I was saying this too. I don't know if I said
they
it.
Were complaining about.
I don't know if I said it on here in like another video, but I really didn't feel like Darvin Ham deserved to be fired. He was the head coach for like 2 years, right? 1 year they make the Western Conference Finals, lose to the Nuggets, and then this year they make it to the playoffs and they lose to the Nuggets. They lost to the same team twice. They lost to the same team in 2 years, and the coach gets fired. I feel like that's unfair. But I mean, it already happened. So. But still, like,
who he was playing together on the court at the same time, the substitutions he was.
I really feel like that's unfair.
That he would run. The strategy. Then when Darvin Ham got there,
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. JJ Redick, out of all people,
why is he running these guys?
He's never coached.
The game. So how could two different coaches have the same bad outcome, make the same mistakes?
Like, it'd be one thing if it was a guy who was like,
how could they?
Like, it'd be one thing if it was a guy who was like an assistant in the NBA for X amount of years, or a guy who's coached at the college level, at the Division I level at these schools, and he's been coaching this long. But you're hiring a guy, JJ Redick, who he retired. I don't know. He retired recently from the NBA, and then he's been doing like his podcast shows, which I love, by the way. I love watching his podcasts, but it's different when you're a head coach. He's got the same amount of experience as me, except I coached like a little kids game like several months ago, maybe like a year ago. But like, we basically have the same amount of coaching experience, bro. Like, and he's gonna be the head coach of the Lakers. Like, what? That's
fail in the exact same way.
That's still
So they
just,
keep blaming the coach
I can't believe that.
for their troubles. But even if J.J. Redick
I still can't
was
believe
coaching
that.
them this season in the playoffs, I don't think they beat the Nuggets. I really don't. I don't think the coach is really going to change much. And you can't get off to a bad start to start the season.
Yeah.
You can't go into
can't.
the play-in tournament every year. You have to have a good season, show consistency.
Especially in the West,
gotta
you
be in the
cannot get
top
off to a bad start
3,
in the
4,
Western Conference.
5 of the conference.
conference
You
is
gotta
so
have some
good.
home court advantage.
You can-
in the playoffs.
yeah,
You can't
especially
just
in the
stumble
West.
Your way in there at the end of the season
You cannot
thinking
get
you're
off
gonna
to a
flip the
bad start.
switch and then win it all. That's
Because
what
the
Lakers
West
have
is
been
so
trying to do
tight,
the last few
is so
seasons.
competitive.
And
Like,
LeBron is a liar because he said it was going to be Anthony Davis' team and he would take a step back. But you see in the playoffs, in some of those games, Anthony Davis didn't even touch the ball in the fourth quarter. They didn't even run the offense through him.
yeah,
Is
that's
that
crazy.
coach's
LeBron's
fault, or
still
does LeBron
carrying
do
the
that?
team at
'Cause
39
I
years
doubt
old.
that any coach would say, you know what, Anthony Davis, you're not shooting the ball in the fourth quarter. We're just going to have you out there playing defense. You're going to stand on the perimeter in the fourth quarter. And when you really think about it, the Lakers, they look like
Or
a
just score on the
fraudulent team.
block.
Because if you look at the Celtics, they went to the finals.
Score on the
and it
block
was
instead of,
embarrassing how
like,
they
trying
lost
to
the
shoot jump
Warriors
shots
because they
and
had that
stuff.
stupid strategy. They played drop coverage against the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, and thought they were going to win. They should have won that finals, but the strategy was terrible. But then you see that every year the Celtics were in the top of the Eastern Conference. Yeah, they lost to the Heat, and that was
To the
embarrassing.
Celtics?
That was
Oh,
a
yeah,
tough loss, but
Celtics.
they were still in the mix, and in this season they're still in the mix. And
Yeah,
looking ahead in the
Celtics.
future, you're thinking the Celtics are going to be in the mix at the top of the conference for a long time. When you really have a good team, you're good every year.
Yeah.
You're legitimate every year. You might
Yeah.
be missing something. Maybe you can't go all the way, but you're not playing tournament every year like we've seen
Yeah.
the Lakers do.
Yeah.
It's like the Denver Nuggets. They
No,
lost
like
to
I
the
said,
Lakers in the bubble
like
season.
they fired
And then
Darvin
every
Ham,
season
who
since
in his
then,
2
they've
years
been
they made
in
the playoffs.
mix, and then they win a championship. This year, yeah, they lost. That was a tough series.
They made
It
the
was amazing
playoffs
that they ended up losing
in
to
the
T-Wolves
tough
like
Western
that.
Conference.
But don't
And,
you
like,
think
his
that
first
the
year,
Nuggets
they
are
made the
still gonna
Western
be in the mix
Conference
this
Finals,
upcoming
didn't they?
season and the next few? Don't you think they're going to be at the top of the West somewhere? But the Lakers, I don't know. I don't know if you can trust them to be at the top of the list just because they got
Management, the
J.J.
front office might
Redick.
have to make
But let me know what you think in the
some
comment
trades or
section.
something.
Are
I
all
don't
of
know.
their problems going to go away
We'll see.
now that Redick is the head coach? Is he really going to make a difference? Are you going to see a different Lakers team on that court?
I
Are
have no
they
idea.
actually going to be
It's
top
gonna be
1,
really
2,
interesting,
3
though.
seed in the regular season?
Hey, I'll say that.
Or are they going to do that fraudulent cheese where they win the in-season
I'll say
tournament?
that. Hey, I'll say this though. Like I think this hire is ridiculous. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. You're hiring a guy who's never coached at any level, as far as I know. I don't think he's coached at any level, and I don't know. But it's gonna be interesting though. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting seeing the dynamic, especially between LeBron and JJ Redick. Just with because obviously they got the podcast, the Mind the Game podcast they got together. So it'll be interesting
But
seeing
then
how that
in the
dynamic
playoffs, they're in the playing tournament. And you notice the
carries
Pacers
over into
We're in the conference finals.
Now
They
the
were in that
regular
playing tournament
season.
also,
That'll
but
be
they ended up
interesting.
having a good season. They overachieved. They had some injuries, but they were fighting. So it's just funny to see the Lakers end up where they did after what happened in the season. My songs. He quit
Yeah.
the game.
Hey, we'll have to wait and see. I want to see what some people in the comment section are saying. That JJ podcast with LeBron was really his interview. Oh my gosh. JJ is LeBron's assistant, La GM out in the open now. Oh my gosh. Lakers are going 40-42. Probably best case scenario 44-38. Hey, let me know what you guys think about this hire. It's definitely interesting. No question, it's interesting. It's gonna have the whole NBA fan base buzzing.